Maybe just get a gentle, if you want to do eyes open, you can just gently look a few feet in front of you, just a soft gaze, not particularly noticing anything. There are benefits of having eyes open meditation, so it's worth trying every so often. So before we set up, just get a sense while your eyes are still open, just get a sense of the room you're in, maybe even look around a bit. Look at some of the objects around you that you probably take for granted if it's your usual sense. Obviously, if your visual sense isn't available, then you've got other senses. So just sensing the space that we're in. And even those that have got more visual sense available, it's good sometimes to really just drop that a bit and notice other things like hearing. A sense of what I've been finding lately is a sense of behindness. Most of our senses, apart from the body sense, are sort of facing forward. But we do have a sensibility towards that. There is a behindness. There is something going on there. It's obviously not visual. So we're just tuning in really to the 6 senses that we have. And before we carry it on a bit more, also what I've been doing lately feels quite useful to me. Some of you that maybe do qigong or yoga or something like that may have a good sense of this anyway. But if you want to, sort of get a sense of your hands, bring your hands up, maybe just over the heart area, but also the palms facing each other, if that makes any sense. So you're not facing into the heart yet, but you're facing each other, and then just bring them gently in towards each other. And just see if you can be sensitive enough to notice at what point do you start noticing, you might want to call it energy, but you can certainly notice the heat at some point. At what point do your hands start noticing the heat of each other, really? I mean, you can't tell which heat are you noticing from your hands, but just getting a sense of that. And even sort of creating like a ball shape and just going around it with your hands. And you can move them apart again if you like and bring them in. It's a bit of a qigong type thing, but in a way what we're doing, we're just being sensitive to what we notice. And you can put one hand over the other hand so one hand is palm down, and then the other hand, if it makes any sense, you're feeling the top of your skin. So it's not, both hands are palms down, but you start to feel the heat on the outside of one of the hands as well. And then just gently bring them up towards the face. So not touching the face, but again, at what point do you notice the warmth and the heat? Okay, and then just put them down in your lap or wherever you want for your posture. What I'm finding personally, it just tunes me into a sensitivity that I miss, that I take for granted. There's a physical sensitivity we have, especially in the hands. And then just noticing where your hands are in your posture. Are they on your knees or in your lap? Do they feel comfortable there? Is that the best place for you at the moment? And then checking into your posture, the feet on the floor, or however you're sitting, maybe it's on your knees. Just getting a sense of the pressure. If you like, you're also sensing into the sense of the gravity being held. So we're gradually starting to settle down, arriving. Let's take a few deep breaths, maybe into the lower belly. And again, it's a way of the breathing. It's the reason often the breathing is chosen as a meditation focus. It's because it's the thing that happens most often. It's obviously always there. It's essential to our life. It's the first thing that arrived, or one of the first things that arrived when we were born into this world. And it'll be one of the most obvious things that will drop away at our death. You notice the breathing at the nose or in the mouth, right at the tip. And we're just going to drop the attention down through the body. So place your awareness, if you like, at the top of the head. Maybe there's not much going on there physically. Maybe you even get a sense of images. And just drop the attention, the awareness through from the top of the head down maybe to the level of the eyebrows. Seeing what sort of physical sensations are arising, presenting. Maybe including the ears and the eyes and the cheekbones. Including all of the face now, including the mouth and the throat, back of the head. The jaw muscles maybe. And just noticing any tensions or any holding. Just sort of kindly, with a sort of gentle attention, allow those tensions just to drop away. Flowing down now through the neck, to the front of the neck, throat, muscles at the back, sides. Maybe you can notice the breathing in the throat as well. And the attention flows down to include the shoulders. There's big muscles there. Shoulder blades even. Collarbone. About under the armpits. Maybe don't pay that much attention to these areas. Maybe what sort of sensations do you notice, or maybe you notice heat? And awareness flows down the arms now, through the top of the arms, through the elbows, lower arms, through the wrists, into the hands. What about between the fingers? Maybe you notice again you get images. You have a sense of where your hands are located. But also what sort of physical sensations. Again, bringing us back to that exercise we did where the hands were feeling the heat. Maybe you can feel temperature. Allowing the attention now to come into the torso, so all of the chest, the side of the ribs, the back. Including the stomach area and the belly area, the lower muscles at the back, the spine, anything that comes up to attention. We'll be paying particular attention to the sides of the rib cage and the sides of the torso. Maybe you can notice the movement of the breathing, rise and the fall. So much of the body is involved in the breathing. Dropping now into the pelvis and the buttocks, and those muscles and bones. Even here you can notice the rise and the fall caused by the breathing. If there's any tensions, what's it like to just give a little gentle attention to that? Awareness of flowing and falling down through the legs, through those big muscles, behind the knees, side of the knees, all the way down through the shins and the calf muscles, through the ankles, into the feet. Or is it to visit the feet? These feet that take so much of our weight, move us around. The heels, the toes. Right to the tip of the toes. And having a sense of the whole of the physical body. Tips of the toes, tips of the fingers, up to the top of the head. Everything's here. Now gently just bring the attention more to the heart center. You could even, if you like, bring your two hands over the heart center. So it's the center of your chest area. Just rest them there. Just so you get a sense of the area. Either leave your hands there or put them back wherever you need to rest them. Just allowing the attention to come inside the torso in the heart space. And just find a seat there briefly. How does it feel for your attention to be here? Have you arrived, or there's a little agitation, or not quite arrived yet? And just imagine that the breathing is coming from every direction into this heart space. It's coming in and it's flowing out. You can always imagine that breath is like light coming in from every pore, or whatever sort of works for you. There's an ebb and the flow of the breath. And this heart space can be as small or as big as whatever's available, or whatever feels the right thing right now. Having a sense of the behindness again, that there is energy and life behind. And also the belowness. Again, there's a sense of energy and life below. To the sides. And above. And in front. Just being, feeling sort of centered in the heart space. But also perhaps it becomes bigger than the heart space. So you sense, you're also sensing the spaciousness all around. Maybe there's a sense of an internal space and an external space. And the breathing's coming in and flowing out. Just imagine that you can place your attention, your awareness alongside and with your out breath. As you breathe out, it's almost like you can allow the awareness, your sense of being and awareness, just to go out with the out breath. Now just let go of having to do anything in particular. No instructions at all. And just gently again, coming in more into the heart space, into heart center. Often for most of us, this heart space is where we most obviously feel our emotional weather. Sort of obvious place where we feel sad or where we feel happy and where we feel love. So maybe just gently asking yourself or just tuning in maybe to what your, if you like, what the flavour of your emotions are at the moment, or maybe what the weather is. Does your heart area feel like it's opening? Maybe it feels a bit contracted. Is it changing? Does it feel uncomfortable to be placing the attention here? Maybe it feels really enjoyable. Whatever you discover is worth discovering. Ring the bell, and then you can either just sit around for a little bit while between meditations, or if anyone wants to say anything, please do. So maybe try to tune back into almost like maybe you where you left off, but also it's worth checking how you are right now. So what's your mood like? What's your body feel like? Almost maybe what's the tempo of your thoughts? Maybe they're speedy, maybe they're quite calm. So checking in again with that attention, with your awareness. Let's come back to that sense of the heart. Wherever you found it, it doesn't necessarily have to be in the heart space. It could be the whole of your being, or it might be more located somewhere else at the moment. So anything that feels like openness, a sort of sense of opening or openness. Maybe it's more like an alertness and attention. Or maybe it is more of a hearty, sort of emotional, friendly place at the moment. Just see if you can get a sense of allowing anything to come. So anything that's arising to your experience right now. If you got a sense, can you bring up a sense maybe of an attitude that anything that arrives, be it a thought, an emotion, physical pain, And everything is welcome. Everything is welcome here. Even if there's a sense of a thought or an emotion that's saying, I don't want that, or that's not welcome. How would it be just to welcome that? And you could use the breathing to come into the heart and flow out of the heart. Having a sense of 360 degrees, being surrounded by the spaciousness. Into this space, just almost you could maybe imaginatively picture yourself or have a sense of yourself walking in, being welcomed into this place. So you're meeting you. Your being is meeting your being. And just notice what happens. What would it be to give yourself a hug? Just see what arises. How about letting be whatever arises, just let it be here. If this feels opening and pleasurable, see if you can sink in and allow that to be a little bit more, just sinking into that. Almost releasing and surrendering into that. It doesn't quite feel like that. How would it be to actually just be with whatever thought or emotion is arising? Still breathing. I'm just going to plop a question in for you, just to see, just let it sink in. So what is it sort of attract you to this meditation or mindfulness type of thing? What's brought you here this evening? What keeps you coming back to meditation? What do you value? The question sinking deeply and maybe ignore some of the first initial thoughts. And just resting away from the question. Just checking in to see what the quality of your awareness is now. How aware or awake is your mind to what's going on? If your mind drifts off into thoughts or to dreamy, it seems like it's a bit asleep. And it comes back, and you notice in that brief moment when it comes back, the quality of the awareness that comes back. And just before we finish this meditation, just have a sense of your surroundings, the room that you're in, whether you're sitting on, or lying on maybe. Now your sense is just almost to reach out and have a sense of that space beyond the physical body. Now I'll ring the bell, and as I ring the bell, just pay attention to the sound of the bell. So you can get a sense of where it lands and when you first hear it.